For this recipe modification, I chose to do hash brown casserole. The ingredients that I used for the one that I've already prepared are Mr. Dell's all natural shredded hash browns, sour cream, Land of Lakes margarine, some shredded mild cheddar cheese, and Fiesta nacho cheese soup. I went ahead and prepared the original, and this is what it looks like when it's all prepared. So that's going to be ready to stick in the oven. For this recipe, I chose to reduce the fat by half, and actually, by the time I got done, I ended up reducing it by 82%. So what I have for this one is I have potatoes that we're going to make into hash browns. I have fat-free cheddar cheese, cream of chicken healthy recipe, which has 96% fat-free and is 53% less sodium. I got fat-free sour cream, Blue Bonnet light butter, and then in both recipes there's a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and take a break and get everything measured out, and then we'll come back and put all the ingredients together and talk about the difference in the nutritional values. Okay, so I just got done shredding my potatoes. You can see them in here. And to do that, I just put cold water in the bowl and then use the shredder thing to grate them. I use the grater to grate them, shred them, and then I drain them, put some more cold water on to rinse them a little bit more, and then drain them again. And so this is a pound of the shredded potatoes. So now we just need to combine all of our ingredients. So in this one, I have a half can of the cream of chicken soup. So it's right there. So we're just going to put that in. Okay. And we have 1/4 of a cup of the melted butter. We'll just pour that in. And that was the the Blue Bonnet light butter is what that was. And then we have 1 cup of the fat-free cheddar cheese. We'll put that, just dump that right in there. And then I have 8 ounces of the fat-free sour cream right here. So we'll dump that in. It's in there, a little bit of kosher salt, and then just a little bit of pepper. That's pretty much to taste. And then after that, you're just going to stir all the ingredients. You can kind of see it here what it looks like. So you're just going to stir them all up. Now already this is a lot easier to stir than the frozen ones. Frozen hash browns were. It looks a little runnier, and that's probably because the sour cream was runnier, and then of course the actual potatoes instead of using the frozen hash browns. Okay, so once you have that all stirred up, it's going to look like that. And then I have a baking dish. I've already sprayed it with spray-on olive oil. So we're just going to put that in the dish. Like so. Now while I was doing all of this, the oven is actually already preheated to 350 degrees. So you're going to want to spread that out. Get that out of the way there. Spread this all out in the pan. Like so. Okay. And so here we have the modified. And then this is what the original looked like. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these in the oven. They're going to bake for 45 minutes. And then we'll talk about the nutritional value. Okay, so I'm going to talk briefly about the ingredients and what exactly I modified for the recipe. I used, for the regular one, we usually use the frozen hash browns. And so this time, for the modified, I used real potatoes that I used the grater on and shredded them up. On the butter, we sometimes use Land of Lakes, and honestly depends on just what I pick up at the store. But I bought the Blue Bonnet light for some reduced fat. And just, it cut the fat in half from 44 on the Land of Lakes to 20 on the Blue Bonnet light. Another thing that I did differently was, instead of using the Fiesta nacho cheese Campbell's soup, I did use cream of chicken soup, the healthy recipe that has 53% less sodium and 96% fat-free. So that actually helped a little bit too, although I do think I could probably get away with using the Fiesta Nacho cheese because I really didn't save that much fat, and this really adds quite a bit of flavor, I think. So we'll have to see when it's done, but I think that would be possible. That's that one. The cheeses that I did is we usually use a mild cheddar, actually almost always Kraft. And I went with a fat-free cheddar for the modified, and that's really where I saved quite a bit of fat because the original had 40 grams of fat in it, so this one, whereas this has no fat, trans-saturated otherwise. Sour cream was another big one that I saved a lot on. For the regular one, we usually use all natural or just a reduced fat sour cream, whereas I actually chose to get a fat-free sour cream. And the difference between that was the regular sour cream had, again, 40 grams of fat, while this one had 0. So that really also made a big difference. So to just kind of go over the basic nutritional information of this really quickly. And so the big thing was that I wanted to reduce the fat in this recipe by at least 50%. And I was extremely successful doing that because I actually ended up reducing the fat by 82%. So we'll see how it tastes. On this side, this is the original recipe. And then over here is the modified. First thing, notice is the color. This one's a lot more white, a lot more runny in the texture and everything as well. It did set up a little bit as it set out. This one, of course, is a lot more dense, not quite as runny. So we went ahead, my husband, my brother, and I went ahead and tried these for dinner. We tried the modified version first. It was a little bland. I do think that we should have probably kept the Fiesta Nacho cheese soup because it really adds a lot of flavor. Other than that, I think that it would be okay. I really do. Maybe drying the potatoes a little bit longer as well, because I think that they still had a little bit of water on them and that made it a little bit runny. Overall, I think it was successful.